What is going on, guys? My name is AK, back again with another YouTube video. Now in today's video we've got the best automation class, in my opinion the most overpowered and best AR in this game. I know a lot of the STG fans are going to disagree with me there, but personally it's the gun that I've been using practically since day one and I absolutely love it. So here is my best competitive class for the Automaton. So here we are in the creator class section of the game. We're going to be showing you two automation classes. One is my search and destroy class and one is my respawn class. One slight little difference between them and I'll explain that when we get into it. Jumping things right off with the SND automation class. This is going to be, first of all, we'll go through all the bits that don't change across both classes. So of course the automation, our perks are going to be Ninja, Radar and Double Time. That is across both of them. Currently the best perks sort of in the game right now that are competitively viable. Of course this is a competitive build. The GAMMON bomb is GA'd in Europe at the moment. So for official games, sort of scrims, things like that, you play with a frag grenade, which does have its sort of its uses, but in things like game battles where it's a bit ruthless, everyone plays what they want, the GAMMON bomb is the better option. But yeah, as I said, if you're playing in a competitive match here over in Europe, I'm not sure about the situation in sort of the NA scene, but I know certainly in Europe it's been GA'd here. So yeah, competitive matches, play the frag grenade, game battles, things like that, throw on the GAMMON bomb. And then the stun grenade as your tactical. You can play the smoke grenade, that is also allowed, but again there's some GAs with regards to smokes in Respawn or in Hardpoint at the moment, the only Respawn game that we currently know of. But yeah, so if you're playing S&D, this is the S&D class. If you do want to use your smoke grenades, you can throw them on this one as well. So with that out of the way, let's jump into the attachments, because I'm sure that's what you guys are here for. So first of all, we're going to be using the CHORD muzzle brake, which gives you just a little bit of accuracy. Good little one to have on there. The recoil booster has been GA'd, which was also a very good choice with the fire rate there. And the F8 stabilizer as well is a good one. But again, I think this might have been GA'd, or if not, it's not the one that I use. I know some of the damage range attachments are a little bit iffy as to whether they're going to stay or not. But either way, I'm using the CHORD muzzle brake. Very good for the accuracy, it helps at long range. Next is the ANASTASIA sniper, the best barrel in the game. You've got bullet velocity and range, and then also accuracy as well. For a little bit of hip fire accuracy, but let's be honest, it's an AR. You're not really going to be using that, so only really positives to come out of this one. Very good for at range, and again, helping you with the accuracy to make sure you don't miss them bullets. For the scope, we're going for the SLEIGHT reflector. Now, this seems to be across every weapon. Even MP40 players seem to be using the SLEIGHT reflector. Very good sight. It's just your typical reflex sight. Does what it needs to do. Then we're going for the ZAC skeletal stock for the stock, and that's just aim walk movement speed, aim walk steadiness, and a bit of accuracy and recoil. So this gives you a little bit more movement out of the gun, although it does have some sort of drawbacks, the sprint to fire speed and the hip fire accuracy. But again, hip fire accuracy, not much of a big deal on assault rifles, and also sprint to fire time. If you're running an AR, you're not going to be sprinting around like you maybe would be with a sub, or certainly not as much as you would be with a sub, so that makes a little bit less of effect, and it works as a good stock there, so you can sort of pre-aim corners, walk around them, and still be able to challenge gunfights. Then moving on to the proficiency, we've got sleight of hand. Now, I did run frenzy before. This is a good one for public matches, but again, health regen after kills. This one has been GA'd, certainly in Europe. Again, maybe across the pond in the US as well. Not too sure. You'll have to check your local GAs for that one. But yeah, sleight of hand, can't go wrong with it. Increases your reload speed, which is important on the Automaton because you've got 25 bullets, so you can burn through that quite quickly. Maybe 1 or 2 gunfights and that's gone. So being able to reload quickly to take new gunfights is very important. And then for the kit we have on hand, that's just going to help with throwing your grenades and throwing your stuns a little bit easier, which being that there's no trophy systems in the game, and by the looks of it, no plans to add trophy systems, this one's going to be very useful in making that quite a bit easier. For the grip, we're going for the stippled grip. You've got that recoil recovery and initial recoil control. I can't remember which one it was. One of these has a initial recoil control as well. Was it the stock? Yeah, so initial accuracy and recoil there. So being able to hit those first few bullets is going to be very important, and that's what your initial accuracy and recoil positive does. Just makes your accuracy very good when you start shooting. For the ammo type, we're going lengthened. Now, this is pretty standard across everything. I think quite a lot of the others are GA'd or just sort of completely banned out in competitive. Again, if you're going in public matches, the incendiary rounds are crazy good. But yeah, for competitive, the bullet velocity there with the lengthened is going to be really helpful, and that will help you again get some nice long range kills with this gun because your bullets will be traveling faster, so you'll get the kill a little bit quicker. We don't run magazines on any of the ARs. They've all been GA'd here in Europe, and I'm pretty sure in North America as well. No one seems to be running these, so we'll sort of skip over that one. And then lastly, we're going for the M3 Ready Grip. Now, this one's a little bit personal preference. I quite quite like this one, sorry. The CARVER grip is also really good, and also the M1941 hand stop is also really good. Again, you lose a little bit of hip fire accuracy with this one, but again, as we mentioned, that doesn't really matter. But with the M3 Ready grip, you get a nice little bit of sort of movement with it, a bit of aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, and a bit of movement. So you can be a little bit more mobile with this gun in that sort of flex AR role if you wanted to play like that. But there are a few other good grip options if you want to have a little play around with it yourself. Now, one quick little thing I will point out, not anything to do with the gun, but it's really annoying at the moment because I have all of the camos done for the automation apart from the mind games section, because you need to use the assassin proficiency, which as of now doesn't exist in the game. So not really sure what's going on with that one, but hopefully when that does get allowed, or when this sort of gets fixed, we'll be able to throw a nice gold camo on here. For the SnD class, we are running the knife. Now, this is just for faster movement speed, sort of off the start of the round, because, you know, getting to the part of the map that you want to get to quick is important, and especially in SnD, those sort of off the breaks, you want to get there as fast as possible. Now, if you really are looking to sort of, if you have a strat that you really need to get to a specific spot fast, you can consider swapping out double time for lightweight. Lightweight will help you get to where you need to go earliest in the round. It's great off the break. Once you're a little bit into the round, double time becomes more useful because you can get the tactical sprint over and over again. So you can slide cancel a lot more. You can sort of abuse the movement mechanics a bit more. But if you have a spot that, you know, if you get into, you're going to get 2-3 kills off the start, thinking maybe the boxes on the far side of the B-bomb on castle. If you can get there, use your lightweight and get set up in that position. But that's why we run the knife in SnD, for that faster movement speed. Then for the respawn variation, everything is exactly the same in terms of attachments. The only difference is we run a pistol as a secondary. We're going for the rat here. I'm still yet to have a look into what pistols are particularly good. I know the machine pistol's not bad. I think the top break and the 1911 are potentially banned on game battles, and then GA'd as well. So I don't think you can use either of them, but I think you can either use the Klauser, which I think is just a Mauser, the rat, or the machine pistol. So give each one a try. I personally like the rat. I like the single shot pistols. I think they're quite strong. And then we've just got a little setup on here. So we've got the rifle break for a bit of accuracy. The heavy trigger just gives you all positives. I know a lot of people like to run the lightweight trigger for fire rate. That is also quite good. And again, with fire rate attachments, I'm not quite sure how long until this potentially gets GA'd. We'll have to wait and see, but that is also another very good option. And then the typical lengthened ammo type, the stippled grip, again, good for that recoil. And then proficiency, we're running fleet. This is quite important for if you run out of ammo and you want to quickly swap to your secondary. You see you got that weapon swap quickness. This is very overpowered attachment on the pistol actually, so you can start shooting people a lot faster, and also you get the movement speed, so you're not going to be as far behind the people with the knife off the start. Because you've got that movement speed, you can sort of keep up with them, and that will help you move around the map a bit quicker, especially if you spawn out far, pull your pistol out, run with that, and then quickly swap to your weapon, because that's what this this proficiency does. Very underrated and quite overpowered proficiency actually here on the pistol. And lastly, we're running on-hand again. You still want to be able to throw your stuns and nays when you've got your pistol out. But that's it for my two Automaton automation. Weird name. I prefer to call it the automation. It makes more sense. I know that's not how it's spelt, but that's just what I like to call it. But hopefully you guys found this one helpful. If you did, be sure to drop a like. Let me know your guys' class setups for your MP40, your STG, or your automation if you played this gun as well. Let me know what attachments you like to run, and whether there's any similarities or differences with your class. But as I said, appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.